Hi 7th graders, today we are going to be doing 9.3, which is all about dilations. Our learning target is I can dilate an image using the coordinate plane. So let's get started. Our investigating dilation section, we need to graph those 3 points and then connect them to make a triangle. So we have -2, -3, and that's A, and then we have 1, 2, which is B, and then we have 3, -1, which is C. So this right here is our triangle. Alright, then it's asking us to multiply each coordinate by 2 and then record our results below. So if we have A, we're going to multiply that by 2. -2 times 2 is -4. -3 times 2 is -6. Now let's do the same for B. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then lastly we have C. 3 times 2 is 6. -1 times 2 is -2. So now let's graph these points. We have -4, -6, which is down here, 2, 4, which is up here, and 6, -2, which is right here. Now connect those points to make our last triangle. Alright, so now that is called a dilation, when our triangle gets bigger. If you notice, it's still the same shape, it is just quite bigger. Alright, so let's go on. Dilation is either reducing or enlarging a figure with respect to a fixed point. So, taking a look at this graph, we have our triangle ABC, but dilating it, we're going to make it way bigger, as you can tell with the other purple triangle. So go ahead and graph that, and then let's go ahead and let's practice. Alright, 1, 2, and 3 are asking to tell whether the blue figure is a dilation of the red figure and then explain. So is this one a dilation? Well, it sure is, because it got bigger. Very good. Moving on to the second one. Is this one a dilation? Did it get bigger or smaller? No, it did not. This is a translation, because all it did was move. Alright, number 3, our squares ended up getting bigger, so yes, this is a dilation. Awesome, let's go on. Now we're going to be talking about 2 different types of enlargement, or of dilations. Sorry, we're going to be talking about enlargements, and we're going to be talking about reductions. So a dilation is an enlargement if our scale factor is greater than 1. So what that means is we're going to be multiplying, so take a look at number 1, we're going to be multiplying each of our points by 2, and that's going to make our picture bigger. So I like to write my points off to the side. So A is at 0, 0, 2, so we're going to multiply that by 2. 0 times 2 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4. So let's go ahead and graph it. 0, 4 is right here, so this is A prime. Awesome, let's do the exact same thing with B. B is at -3, -2. Let's multiply both by 2. -3 times 2 is -6. -2 times 2 is -4. So -6, -4 would be right here. And then lastly we have C, and C is at 3, -2. So let's go ahead and multiply both of those numbers by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. -2 times 2 is -4. So 6, -4 is right here. Now let's connect our dots. And we now have our new triangle. And if you notice, our shape is still the exact same. So that is how we do enlargements. We're going to practice one more. This time we have a scale factor of 3. So point A is at -2, 1. So we need to multiply both of those numbers by 3. -2 times 3 is -6. 1 times 3 is 3. So -6, 3 is A. Now let's do B. B is at 1, up 0. Multiply both by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times 3 is 0. So here's letter B. And then lastly we have C, which is at 0, -1. Multiply by 3. 0 times 3 is 0. -1 times 3 is -3. So our last point is down here. Connect our dots, and we now have our brand new triangle. And if you notice, our shape is exactly the same. Very good. Next, we have reductions. Reductions happen if our scale factor is, is less than 1. So whenever we get a fraction, that means our picture is going to get smaller. It's going to be a reduction. All right, so let's take a look. Our scale factor is 1/2. We could do this two ways. We could multiply by 1/2, or we could divide by our denominator, which is 2. And those are the exact same things. No matter which option you pick, you will get the same answers. So I like to divide by 2 when I see a fraction. Makes it easier than trying to multiply by a fraction. All right, so let's start with A. A is at -4. So let's divide both of those numbers by 2. -4 divided by 2 is -2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So let's graph that. -4, 2 is right here. Awesome. Moving on to B. B is at -4, -6. Let's divide both of those numbers by 2. -4 divided by 2 is -2. -6 divided by 2 is -3. So we get -2, -3. Moving on to C, we have it at 2, -6. Divide by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. -6 divided by 2 is -3. So we get it at 1, -3. And then lastly, we have D at 2, 4. Divide both of them by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So here is our rectangle. And if you notice, it is smaller, but it's still the same shape. Awesome, and the last one. This time we are dividing by 3 instead of 2 because our denominator is 3. So let's start with A. A is at -6, up 0. Let's divide both by 3. -6 divided by 3 is -2. 0 divided by 3 is 0. So here is A. Now let's do the same for B. We're going over 6, up 6. So 6, 6. Divide both of them by 3. 6 divided by 6 is, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our new point is at 2, 2. And then lastly, we have C, which is at 3, -6. Let's divide both of those by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. -6 divided by 3 is -2. So we're at 1, -2. Connect our dots, and you should have a triangle that looks exactly the same, just a bit smaller. Awesome, so that was our lesson on dilations. If you have questions, send me a message. Otherwise, have a great day.